We got stuff to do. Man. We're early today.
Yes. Ryan Bates.
Hey, Ryan. How's it going?
Doing good.
Ryan, it was difficult to get you on the show.
It was very difficult.
You start working early every morning.
Every morning for the last 14 years.
Yes. So we met through tennis.
Yeah, we were on an all-star team, I think it was.
It was this hybrid team. It was like the lowest rank you could be to the highest rank you could be. Where do you think me and Ryan fell on the spectrum?
Well, you know, I've never seen you play.
Okay.
But I would have to imagine that in tennis, that you're more of like a power server.
Okay.
And that, you know, that dominant serve. Because I feel like if you don't win it on the first point, you're probably going to struggle.
Yeah. Well, my serve was bad. So I definitely struggled. My first serve was like at 5% accuracy.
I never got to watch him.
No. But so Ryan, we'll discuss this, but Ryan tends to be very intense in whatever he's into in the season of life.
Competitor.
So when I met him, his season of life was tennis, and he had decided, hey, I want to start playing tennis. Had never played, and became like the best tennis player in the city within 12 months.
I paid for the tennis pro's first house when he moved here. That's how many lessons I took. And I would line up matches all through the week, call everybody on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I would just work on whatever the tennis pro had me working on. Even if they beat me or not, I didn't care. I was working on forehand, low forehand, high forehand, backhand. And then
Before kids,
yeah.
Yeah. And
then I was like, one day I was just like, I've had enough of this now.
And you just put it down.
I put it down. I'll play on vacation every now and then, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you played Leighton?
Well, like we were talking about, it was a hybrid team. The worst and then the best. They mixed them together.
You got stuck.
Yeah. I would never met Leighton if they didn't mix them up like that. You know?
Like the lowest.
We're not going to talk about who was the worst and the best. But
yeah.
I think we already have, to be honest. So the number one player with the number.
No, they put the two.
It was the
two best and then the two medium and the two worst together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, and then he met my father-in-law. My father-in-law was playing with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. Let's go back further. Like, where are you from?
I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm 41 years old now. I'm getting old. I tell people I have 3 kids, a bald spot, and a Suburban now. When they ask me what I've been up to, that's what I tell people.
Yeah.
And there's a van in there too.
Yeah, nice. So how did you end up here?
So my parents are originally from Winfield, Louisiana area, which I'm glad they did move before I was born because I probably wouldn't have wanted to grow up there. I got to experience a lot of things. My dad's an engineer, petroleum engineer, moved all around the country, basically settled in Tulsa, and went to Oklahoma State, then graduated with a biology degree, went to Parker University in Dallas for chiropractic, and started working in South Lake for a guy named Dr. Daryl Laney. And then my parents moved back to Louisiana with my dad doing in the oil business, and then I followed them here. So I've been here ever since. And I was looking for a wife at the time, and I found a girl in Shreveport that had a full set of teeth. First one I saw, and I was like, I got to marry her. It's the only chance I have. And
let's start back. You grew up pretty intense in sports.
I grew up with a dad that's type A. He would push me. He would push me a lot, no matter what I was doing, if it was academics or sports. So that's basically how I grew up. And I do the same thing with my kids too today.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So you were big in basketball.
I was, as a small child, you just played whatever you could. I wanted to play in the NBA, but it didn't really have the talent nor the size to do that. So I stuck with chiropractic, and it's got me pretty far at this point. So
yeah,
that's good.
So, but you've told me the story, and I think it's hilarious. But you grew up really competitive in basketball, and you were able to get a spot at Oklahoma State.
Well, no. I played for. I took lessons with a guy named Brooks Thompson, he's dead now, which is sad in most part. The opportunities that I had to play basketball were nothing big. I had some chances. Got recruited pretty hard by University of Nebraska. There was a guy named Reg Mathis in Tulsa who I still connect with. He's still helping my kids today. He got them to look at me. And then the coach switched, and then they took my scholarship or my offer away the week of signing day. So then I had to figure out what I was going to do. Then my mom always told me, hey, you're 5'11", you're a white guy, you probably should concentrate on other things. So then I stopped basketball at that point. walk-on opportunities were there, I just thought that it would be best for me not to do that. Yes.
But at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I went to Oklahoma State, but I did not play basketball there. I just straight did school.
Yeah.
Played other basketball, but not anything collegiately.
Yeah. And then, you go to Shoot 360.
I go to Shoot 360. I've been there a couple times.
They have a team.
They have a team, but I'm not good enough for that team.
You're not?
No, I'm too old for that team.
I saw their post saying the Shoot 360 team's getting ready to play. I guess they're playing in the Cypress League.
Yeah.
I was like looking for Ryan.
Yeah, with a dad and engineer, he wanted to make sure my shot was perfect. So there's been a lot of times in the driveway with him.
Yeah.
So I do the same. Probably not as intense as my dad, looking at every angle, since I'm not a engineer, but it's close. It's close. Yeah.
Well, it's just super impressive that you were recruited for Nebraska to play basketball.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Because I saw you earlier, and I was, to your point, I was kind of going, you're not like the tallest guy, right?
That's 5'11".
That's incredible.
Well, when you're short, and it doesn't matter what avenue that you're in, business or whatever. I mean, you got to find out where you fit in, and what you can do something better than everybody else. And mine was, I was smarter and I could shoot better. Just had to work on, and I had some quickness, but that's what you kind of have to go for. And then once you find where you fit in, you keep working on those things, and then it can take you wherever you want to take you. I met a lot of friends with the game of basketball, been all over the United States playing. And it really, when I got into business, it kind of opened up doors for me, which was good. That's why technically I'm here. Mike McConaughey from Northwestern State is a great guy. Never met anyone that said he's not a great guy, which is, I always tell him he's like a fairy tale person. And then he tells me, well, I've never heard anyone that said you're a bad chiropractor. I'm like, well, I can tell you where I look for those people at. He said that I'm the same way. So he opened the doors for me here. He said, hey man, you can come work with my team right out of school. And I came down to do that a little bit, and then it just kind of blossomed. So I would tell kids all the time when I'm coaching them, you're going to eventually stop playing whatever sport you're playing, but play it in a way that it's going to open up doors for you if you whatever business you get into, which is cool, because most people are not going to play basketball or baseball or tennis past, middle school, but it can still open up doors for you later on.
Yeah. Well said.
So I have a story to Northwestern. There's a lady that's been coming to our church, Meredith Graff.
Yes.
And I said, we were talking, she was over at our house with a church to get together. She was telling me where she had played and all this stuff, and your name came up, and she said, oh, Ryan, yes, he saved me.
Her ankle.
Yes.
I remember.
She said, because she was playing, she was an athlete there, and she was like, couldn't play in any games. And somebody said, hey, Ryan's here. Have you seen Ryan? She's like, well, who's Ryan?
Coach McConaughey.
Yeah. And within one session, she was like back on the court.
I still remember. She's got a picture in my office to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a great person and good coach.
Ryan in his office has all these collegiate and pro athletes, like their jerseys and stuff. And I'm wondering like when I could put like a, little pickleball shirt or something up, or.
Well, has he done anything for you?
Yeah. Ryan saved my life. Well, for a while.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
How did that work?
So when I was a school teacher, so this was like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
I'm not the best. Ryan, if you were going to rate my flexibility out of a 1 to 10, what would you get?
Probably about it. I would say 1.5 at that point.
Okay. At that point, yeah. I've improved.
You've improved.
And so, of course, I played basketball and then went to grad school and just quit playing sports really altogether, and just wasn't. I left my circle of friends. Wasn't playing any sports. And so probably 7 or 8 years later, I start to try to lose weight and get back in the gym and exercise. And one day I'm jump roping. So I guess I was probably late 20s, early 30s. And I'm jump roping, and I go to jump, and I just feel the sharpest pain I've ever felt in my foot. And it just like grounds me. I come down. I couldn't even it just hurt so bad. And I think that maybe I'm trying to think how I even found you.
Probably that tennis.
Through tennis?
Yeah.
So I was like, Ryan, I'm hurting. I don't know what's going on. And I go in there, and as soon as I sit down, he looks at my foot and he tells me exactly what's wrong. And it's actually diagnosed called a Haglund deformity.
Yes.
But it's a bone spur on your heel that's formed. It's kind of like a callus that's formed for your Achilles being real tight over time, rubbing on the back of your heel. It forms a calcium deposit. And he's like, that's it.
It's the sexiest looking Achilles tendon in Shreveport. That's what I tell people. When you have a Haglund's deformity, You're going to get a lot of girls if they look at it.
So anyways, since then I've had both of them removed and the Achilles redone. But, at that point it was just like immediate relief. And he diagnosed it and got me taken care of. Isn't that crazy?
So I am confused. Help me understand. I'm looking at the patch. Oh, I see. Is it sports medicine?
Yeah, Bates Chiropractic and Sports Therapy.
So it's chiropractor practice, if you will, and sports medicine.
Yes,
together. Do you normally see those together or no?
In bigger cities, yes. The one I worked at in South Lake, they did have it, and it kind of got me to what I want to do in practice.
Yeah.
So we do a technique in there. We do a lot of different soft tissue techniques because usually someone comes in with back pain. It's not just the joint. It's not just the muscle. So you have to put everything together. And, it can be really elaborate how you explain it. But I tell people this, your joint moves certain directions. Your muscles move the joints. And if they're not working together, then you're not going to be efficient with your movement. So we try to fix those. And, every time you open a business, you need to have a really specific mission statement. And, I tell all my patients the main thing that we do is make your body function better. And that could be playing with your grandkids or it could be playing pickleball. So that's the avenue that we work in. And the cool thing about chiropractic, since it started in the 1800s, this man figured out that your nervous system controls everything in your body. Your nervous system is your brain, spinal cord, all the nerves that goes to your endocrine systems, to your respiratory systems. And if that's not working, then your body can't work. And chiropractic deals with your nervous system. We adjust your joints to make your body more efficient when it moves. The communication from your brain and the rest of your body, that increases and your body feels better. So that is kind of mainstream now, where it used to not be, Do
you still feel like a lot of people doubt it? Like I've heard in the past year or so, chiropractic is a scam.
I would think that any business has people that doubt it. I always tell people the very first couple months that I was in practice in Shreveport, I was playing tennis, and this lady's like, Ryan, I think you're such a nice guy. If I believed in chiropractors, I would come to you. And then I looked at the lady, and I'm quick-witted. You already know. I like to talk a lot of trash. I said, ma'am, I don't come down your chimney. Like, I don't put presents under your tree. I'm a real person. But you always have skeptics, and we could, if it was a different type of podcast, I would tell you why the skeptics came from the history of chiropractic. But right now in my clinic, we try to make you function better. We try to make you more efficient with your movement, get you out of pain naturally without any drugs. And that's actually a really easy sell because I can get someone with an issue, diagnose their issue, tell them what's going on with them, make them feel better right then. And then the proof's in the pudding there. And if I can't help you, I'll be the first one to tell you, hey, I can't help you because I like to bat 1,000. As you said, I like to go as hard as I can all the time. So if I'm only 80% effective in my clinic, that's not good for me. I want to be 99 to 100% effective. So if I see someone I can't help, I'm like, hey, I want to give it a shot, but can't help you because I want to get that. I want to keep that 1,000%, Yeah.
So, and I get it. You don't want to do the whole history, but if you could sum up for people, like in your perception, why do people feel the way some of them do about chiropractic?
That's actually an easy question. When chiropractic started, and if you look at it in the early 1900s, everybody went. It comes down to anything that you do is a money thing. There's not any research. The pharmaceutical companies drive so much in our medical research now. A pharmaceutical company cannot make any money off of a chiropractor because what we do is 100% natural. So if you could put in a pill what a chiropractor could do for you, not just me, any chiropractor, it would be the biggest selling pill there is. So chiropractors got attacked early in I think it was the 1910s or 1920s. The guy that taught me this stuff in school is going to be messed up if he listens to this, but what happened was the American Medical Association sued chiropractors for practicing medicine without a license. That then they put out a lot of stuff, this committee on quackery, that's where that word comes from. They tried to sue the chiropractors, said they were practicing medicine without a license, but they were not. They were basically adjusting the spine, trying to maximize the function of the nervous system. People were feeling better. They were healthier back then, so you could get adjustment and feel a whole lot better than you do now. People weren't as fat. People weren't as stressed, so chiropractic was really good. Chiropractors won that lawsuit against the American Medical Association. That stigma stuck with them for a long, long, long time. Now, more medical doctors are seeing the reasons why chiropractic is good for their patients. So it's kind of changed. But I think people, I would say younger or probably older than about 55 still have that connotation, but it's real easy to change. It's real easy to change. And I would think now if we went to Walmart today and got 10 people, I think most people would say, oh yeah, chiropractors are good, or I've been to one, or I would be willing to try that.
But even in any field, there are some that, and like you said, it's a money game.
It's a money game.
So there are, I've been to chiropractors. I remember years ago, there was a chiropractor in our BNI, and he was like, we're looking for business, whatever. And I went, and I found myself in a room with 10 other people lined up against the wall on this machine, that you're just laying on this bed that's rolling your back, and they just push a button and walk out of the room. And then there's kind of, you see what I'm saying?
That is that man's way of practicing. When I came into chiropractic, I'm like, okay, I really like I like all the philosophy that chiropractic has. If your master system of your body is functioning good, the rest of your system is going to work good. I like that philosophy. I can work with it. I like sports. Hey, if the guy sprains his back playing basketball, I can help him get back really quickly without drugs or surgery. I can use outside the box thinking to get this guy back on the court quickly. I did not like what you just explained. And I'm not saying it's wrong, because it's probably been working for that man that you were going to. If you treat every single person differently and make them feel like you really care holistically about them, I think your practice will take off. If you put everybody in a line and like, hey, lay down, bam, 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 I don't think you're going to get the results you're looking for. And there's a lot of money in what you just described. If I change the way that I practice, I could increase my revenue. I mean, dude, I don't know how much I could increase it, because that means I can now see triple the amount of patients. But the patients I have, the relationship that you get when you help somebody is more important to me than I still make good enough money to do whatever I need to do. But it's better to take care of the people, so then I can have relationships with you. I wouldn't be here today with you if we didn't have that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I do remember, I would say, I'm going to Ryan. I'm like talking to people about their chiropractor, and they're like, yeah, well, they put me in a machine and push some buttons and it adjusts me. And that was kind of like Ryan, he adjusts me. I'm a big boy. I do tell him he needs to upgrade his bed though.
You don't like that bed?
Well, it's not, I don't know if it's made for a 6'5", 300-pound man.
No. Chiropractic is a Latin word meaning done by hand. So if you're in there using instruments, I don't necessarily agree with it.
That was great. You said, he's like, put your hand here, put your arm here, put this. He's like, take a deep breath. It's like, he just pops me. I'm like, oh, that feels great.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different ways.
Yeah. Well, can I ask you about a couple of things? I did have a chiropractic, like a story that I could tell you, but I'm curious, the popping, right? Mechanically, what's going on there?
So the joint opens up, air rushes out the joint. That's what the air that, when I found out that it was just air getting out of the joint, it really disappointed me in chiropractic school. I remember sitting there. I don't know if it was the first week, month, year. They said it's gases leaving the joint. And I was like, that's terrible. I thought it was actually bones cracking. I wanted to feel that, Then I started thinking, but I'm glad it's not bones cracking. So when you adjust something, you move the joint like 1/8 of an inch. You move it a little bit. You're trying to put the joint through full range of motion. That gases will release, and that's what you hear. That's why you can't do it again. It's got gases got to get back in there. Yeah. It releases endorphins and enkephalins and things in your brain to make you feel good.
Sure.
So that's why some people want to crack their neck all the time, because it feels good to them. But yeah, it's just gases leaving, man. It's kind of boring.
It's crazy how Ryan, because I would imagine you're the lens you look through. Anytime you're in public, you're noticing people walk. You could diagnose, even whenever I come see you, I haven't seen you in a while, but as soon as probably walking in here today, you probably noticed, something's off. So like sometimes I'll walk in from the waiting room. He's like, yeah, I can tell your left foot's a little bit longer than your right foot or whatever. Like he knows.
It's probably got a lot of issues. Yeah.
Everyone has repetitive motion. That's why going to chiropractor is so good, because it kind of reverses some of your repetitive motion. And once you find a good chiropractor, it's hard to find one that fits you, because I have people come from other chiropractors that have moved in here, and I always ask them, hey, what did you like? What did you didn't like? Like that. It's because you have to connect. Chiropractic, you have to connect with the patients. It can't be like what you said. Line them up, get them done. It's totally different.
Yeah. We had and I won't mention their name, but I had a friend, and they were having their son was probably 10 or 11 at the time, very good athlete, involved in a bunch of sports. And they started having this hip pain. and just like couldn't even get up. He was walking around like an old man, and they couldn't figure out what's wrong. And they were taking him to specialists. They were getting all this. They were like going into his hip bone and taking out, thinking like he had some kind of like infection and all kinds of stuff. And we happened to be having dinner with him. I was like, have y'all taken him to a chiropractor yet? Like, you need to take him to Ryan. And sure enough, within like 2 visits, you diagnosed him on the first visit.
Young kid. I don't even have to tell me the name because I know who that is, because the kid is an awesome kid. Probably one of my favorite kids I've ever worked on. And when a patient comes in like that, I'm looking at their dads and their moms, and they look so hopeless because they've been going here and there and everywhere. And when I have the answer for them, it makes me feel really nice. That's why it keeps coming back for more. It's like hitting a drive down the fairway perfect. And when I looked at this kid, he looked desperate. He couldn't enjoy his childhood. He couldn't do this. He couldn't do that. And you could just tell he was kind of not correct and mentally too. Yeah. And I started feeling around like, okay, yeah, I think I can help this guy. And I told his parents kind of what I thought was wrong. And he got up walking relatively normal and just kept getting better and better. And it's stuff that you have to keep track of. It's not something that it's like brushing your teeth. You got to brush your teeth. I mean, some people don't, but we see how that works out for them.
Yeah. And
so you can't just say you can get one chiropractic adjustment and all of a sudden he's going to look like, the best athlete walking around, because you do have to do maintenance on yourself. But yeah, it changed his life. And, their parents will come back every now and then and ask me questions, because they'll go to doctors and doctors way smarter than me. And they'll get these diagnosed about other things, but then they come and they look at me like I'm supposed to know all these things. And it's unbelievable how much they would trust me, and I'm like, hey, I don't know the answers to that. What would you do if you're in this situation? And then I would tell them what I would do, but I don't have those answers. They just trust me that much because I help their kids that much.
Yeah.
So that's something you have to take serious, and you can't blow it off.
Well, it's crazy because when you think of chiropractic or you think of pain, you think that it affects you when you're older.
It does affect you when you're older.
Yeah. But then you think of like literally kids even, you know what I'm saying? And so like, it's kind of like, how do you, should all of your kids be going to see a chiropractor? We've even talked about how we have a friend who's a chiropractor in town who specializes in like infants.
Yeah.
And they'll adjust infants. And you've told me that you're like, these parents bring this newborn home and the child won't sleep through the night, just crying all night. And at 6 weeks old, 8 weeks old, they'll get an adjustment, and then boom, they're sleeping 8 hours a night.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen childbirth before, but it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like the hole's not that big to come out of. Yeah. Okay. So they can get twisted around. The doctor's going to pull them a little bit. You can already start your development slower. And you realign all those things, and then all of a sudden your body can communicate with itself better. It's not rocket science. You don't even, everyone kind of understands that, what I just said now.
Yeah.
You get everything back the way God intended it, and then let your body do the healing. Our bodies have this thing called the innate intelligence. Like, it knows how to heal itself if we give it the right stuff. We're just really good at giving it bad things.
Yeah.
We're really good at giving it bad things.
Yeah. So let me ask you now, because as gentlemen in our 40s,
yes,
some would say middle-aged, your protocol for just daily life, like what do you do for yourself to say, you know what, look, you're in great shape. What are you doing?
So all three of us, I imagine you have children too. And we want the best for our kids. So a lot of times we give up a lot of things on our own health to get our kids to where we think they need to be. So I tell people, you can't train like a professional athlete. You cannot do it because you have other priorities you got to do. So I would say you need to at least have 2 to 4 days a week where you're getting some type of exercise. You need to make sure you're not eating, Whataburger every night when your kids are going to and from practices.
Buffalo Ranch is back. Have you seen that on the billboard?
Sometimes all three of us are never going to go hungry.
Yeah,
that's right.
So if you have to skip that Whataburger meal that your son's eating in the back, that's totally fine. Just be disciplined enough to tell yourself, okay, look, I wasn't able to get in the gym today, so I cannot have these extra 2,000 calories that I'm about to have here. So that's something that I tell a lot of my guy patients that are my age. And then there's no way that you're going to go in there and do CrossFit 6 days a week at our age. You probably could, but we have other things we have to do. So I tell people, 2 to 4 days, get some exercise. And if you can't eat healthy all the time, skip one of those meals that you usually would do. And it won't make you feel good at first. But then when you lay down about to go to bed, you'll be totally fine. You're not going to be hungry. And then plus you could be at you're not going to gain weight that way.
So 2 to 4, but you don't care what it is.
I don't care what it is. Like today, I got to coach girls basketball tonight right after practice or right after I get done with clinic. So I'll be in there with them from 5:15 to 6:45. And then what I'm supposed to do, go home and eat Chick-fil-A with my daughter who's going to want to go to Chick-fil-A later. They have grilled nuggets, ate 5 or 6 of those. Maybe I need to run with the kids at practice. You just have to figure out little ways. Like you're just not going to be able to, I can't keep up the same way I worked out 5 years or 6 years ago now, because now I'm investing in my children, but I have to be able to take care of myself. So the easy way to answer your question is get you a little exercise 2 to 4 days a week. It don't matter if it's running sprints in your driveway, doing lateral shuffles in your driveway, or just walking 20 minutes every day. That's good enough to maintain a little bit of cardiovascular health. Try to lift something heavy, at least 1 day a week. And then, I tell people this, going to a chiropractor allows your body to function better. So I think getting adjusted at least once a month, once every couple months, some chiropractors are like, that's not enough. I think it's sufficient to keeping your body moving. Arthritis will like to set in with guys our age. If the joints are stuck and they're not moving and they just stay stuck, body's going to shut them down. So that's why I tell people getting adjusted keeps the arthritis from forming quicker. And that's basically it. So get you a little exercise every week. Don't be eating those late night meals with your kids coming out of baseball practice or basketball practice, and then get adjusted here and there, and to kind of help with your overall health.
It's remarkably practical. I was hoping for cold plunge in a river in Montana.
Well, I think a lot of times what happens though is we feel bad we didn't do anything for 6 months, so we're like, all right, we're going to get back into it, and we set our standards so high. Right. Or we go to the gym. I've done that before where I just go like all in and then I can't walk for a week. Right. I'm like, wow, like why was I doing like calf presses my first time back at the gym?
Deep squats.
And now I was like walking around like I'm constipated for a week.
You just have to know where you're at in your life.
Yeah.
Should I be training like LeBron James? No, I should not.
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to that philosophy, right? We overestimate what we can do in the short term and underestimate what we can do in the long term. Right.
I mean, you go. I know your son plays baseball. You play catch with them. I'm assuming you can play catch with them and then run to the mailbox 2 or 3 times, touch it, and come back and play some more catch. Yeah. Like that's just as efficient as running on a treadmill for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But then you're playing with your son. He's like, why is dad doing? He's crazy. So my kids see me running sprints in our garage and they're looking at me like, what? I've helped my son learn how to count that way. I was like, hey, I want you to count 16 times. Okay. So I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's like, my kids think it's normal. I don't know.
Ryan's a little intense.
Sprints.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, sprints for a 40-year-old is like, not that fast.
No, my 6-year-old will destroy me in a race.
Right. But you just have to run. You have to move. You have to do things. You just can't be sedentary.
Yeah. We started doing, we were trying to get our kids, the weather's getting a little better, and we were doing a point system for a while of, hey, we'll take you to Chasing Aces on Friday, but everybody has to earn 5 points for the week. And like the points was like, you walk a mile, you get a point. You get to a ball practice, you get a point. Doing that, right?
That's good.
But then the problem with that is they're like, hey, mom, dad, y'all haven't earned your points yet. Are we going without you?
It's really easy as dads to put yourself on the back burner for your health, trying to help your family.
Yeah.
So you can't help your family if you don't take your health seriously.
Yeah.
So I think being practical, like you said, is the best thing to do. You can't, like I said, you're never going to get up in the morning and take your shirt off and look like you're like, man, you can, no doubt. Can you look like I have a 6-pack and everything? You can, but other parts of your life are probably going to suffer. So make sure you're healthy and able to provide for your family. Being men, I think that's probably the best advice I give. Yeah. Well, I give it to all my patients.
Well, I like that because it's like, hey, fit it in your normal routine. You can't go carve 2 hours a day out of your normal routine without somebody getting neglected.
Like we said, when I was single, when I was married, no kids, I was playing tennis every day.
Yeah.
I look like, I've been playing tennis my whole life. Yeah. But that is more of a selfish thing. Yeah. When you have children, you can still do things for yourself, but then you have to start preparing them so they can get to the level that you're at.
Yeah.
And without that investment into them, then you can't make it happen.
Let's talk about kids sports.
Kids sports, I like it. I like them
because Ryan, I remember. So Ryan, like I said, he's jumped to get very intense and I would say obsessed with certain things. after tennis was over, you decided you were done playing tennis. You got into hunting. I remember that phase.
Hunting, yeah.
Yeah. You had
I just try to be
dogs trained.
If I'm doing something, I want to see how good I can get at it. Yeah. And if I enjoy it, just like chiropractic, I've never lost it. So I always tell people, you're never going to find a chiropractor that works harder than me. Like, you might find a smarter one, but I'm going to figure out a way to outwork him. Just like it's hard to get me on the show. I don't like missing 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Because I'm in there churning it up.
Yeah.
But
he is.
There's never going to be someone outworking me. Just like when I was playing high school basketball, I was one of the best shooters in the state. You can go back and look at all the records. No one's going to shoot more than me. No one's going to practice more than me. No one's form is going to be better than me. No one is going to be smarter about the game than me. Yeah. So that philosophy transfers over right now when I'm 41 years old running a chiropractic practice. Yeah. That philosophy is what I try to teach the kids in youth sports. The disconnect here is this. It's 2025. It was 90s and early 2000s. So can that philosophy there still work in 2025? Yeah. It is almost impossible.
It's harder.
It's almost impossible for that same philosophy to work.
Yeah. That's I remember your enlightening moment. You had signed your daughter up to play in the city rec league.
Yeah.
Right?
We won't say what league it was.
Yeah.
But a lot of people know.
Yeah. But then after like the first game, you just pull the whole team. You're like, this is ridiculous.
This is a very interesting story, and it makes a lot of people laugh. Coming from basketball, how I played it, to get to the level I did with my personal body and everything else, I had to play at a certain level. I had to have a certain mentality. Like we talked about, that's why my chiropractic office is good, because that mentality. So I got these kids and I signed them up, and the lady at the place was like, hey, we have these kids here. I said, well, just give me the girls. Just give me all the girls on my team. I said, my daughter likes to play. So I got them to practice, and I was just, hey, girls, this is how you dribble. This is how you pass. These are the out of bounds lines, teaching them basic rules. So we get to the first game, and we were playing an all boys team. And
so it's a co-ed league, but you just made an all girls team.
Pretty much. I had a couple boys. Okay. And I said, hey, kids, look, as soon as they come across half court, we getting up on them. I said, we are playing defense. We are playing defense like I showed you guys. Basketball is fun when we play hard defense and we don't get it.
So quick question, half court press?
So I didn't even have a press. They were just playing man to man.
Okay, so just half court man.
Half court man.
Got it.
So we started. And I mean, it looked like pow, 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 as soon as it come across half court. And I started laughing. And I remember the little girl that got it and went down and shot whatever a kindergarten layup looked like. And I mean, it's not pretty, but we shot like 6 times. We made it. They came back down again. And I don't know if it was fouls or what was going on, but there was a lot of stuff going on another time. Same thing. And then everyone starts freaking out in the gym. I'm talking about freaking out. I'm sitting down, and this is my first time back in sports since I was a young kid. And this man said, I've never seen any kids play like this. And I'm thinking like, what, man? It's called defense. Like, what are you talking about? They can't play defense in this league. And I'm looking around like, what? I didn't know that there were special rules. I didn't know there was baby rules. He's like, they have to run back in the paint and put their arms up. They're not allowed to steal the ball. And I'm like, what? I said, bro, that's crazy. I said, these kids, man, I'm trying to teach them how to be intense, not just in basketball, but anything. And you're telling them to run it back. I said, you can tell them to do that. I'm not telling them. I can't do it. So the game got out of control. He started screaming and yelling. And he looked like a total idiot in there. I was low-key talking trash to him. Low. No one knew. I was like, hey, man.
Everyone was he the coach of the other team?
He was.
Okay.
They thought that I wasn't saying anything because I was trying to be professional. It's been a long time, so I can tell the truth about it now.
Sure.
Looked like I was being nice, but I was like, bro, you're freaking stupid, dude. I was saying stuff really low, like you're making a fool out of yourself, and that makes him worse. Mm-hmm. So he decided to quit. I said, well, we still have the court for another 30 minutes. Why don't we just keep playing? Some of his team then joined into the game, and I was just reffing it back and forth. Kids having a great time. So then I was like, that's it, man. We had a great time. And then I told the families that they wanted to play a certain way. And I said, you guys can do that. I said, I'm not teaching my kids to pretty much not try. and pretty much lay back and pretty much let the other team have a fair shot. Just because they might be coached better or you might be a little bit more faster. No, I wasn't about it. And I said, I don't agree with that, but you guys can continue the league if you want. So they did not. Most of them came with me. And then now what you're seeing is kids that I call it sheltering from the 2025 mentality. And these kids are doing amazing. These kids are doing amazing. And they only know one way. And it's balls to the wall as hard as you can. Give it everything you got and let the chips fall where they may.
So you formed like a Ryan League now. And
no, everyone wanted me to do that. I did not. And the thing is, it's all girls, which is not my favorite at all. And I'm real open with the kids. I don't really like coaching girls. A lot of people love coaching girls. I love these girls, but if they weren't these girls, I wouldn't coach them. No.
Wow. So, but you pretty much turned into a travel team.
I turned into a team that plays basketball. And sometimes we have to travel to get a game because basketball in this area for little girls is non-existent, and they just kind of brush them off. It's not serious for them. Yeah. And some kids want to learn. And so
I've heard the same thing with softball too.
Yeah.
Softball is hard to get tournament around here.
It's hard. Yeah. And, you shouldn't have to. I mean, you should get a group of kids, split them up. These are the rules of basketball. Let's try to teach it and then just go for it. But that's not just, you're going to have to hang back here, hang out in the paint, keep your little hands up now. If you touch little Sally when she comes through, it's not good. So,
I feel, It's so now these girls are what, 9, 10 years old?
They're 8 and 9 for the most part.
And they're playing. So think about just Northwest Louisiana. How many teams are around in Northwest Louisiana that you can compete with that team?
At their age, there's zero.
So you're playing 10, 11, 12-year-olds. So
we got in the 2nd and 3rd grade league presently, and we're winning by 70 points, which is not good for anybody. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I told the kids last game, I was like, hey, I make them coach themselves there. I don't ever get off the bench. I just sit there and let them go. And I said, I want you guys to realize something here. Those girls on the other side are just as capable as you. You guys have got to be aware and thankful and blessed, know that you're blessed to have somebody that will work with you. I could take that team too and make them just as good as you. Those girls want to, just no one's spending time with little kids, little girls, teaching them how to play basketball in this area. So I don't necessarily love it. My daughter loves it, so I love it for her. So I keep it going for her.
And when you go to Dallas or Oklahoma,
there's kids that can smoke them.
Yeah. Then you see there are other people doing the same thing.
Not just a little. There's a lot.
Yeah.
And but if you don't have the mentality that I'm teaching these kids, then you can't get to where you guys are at, and you can't get to where I'm at. I'm talking about professionally.
Yes.
Because if you think it's you got to learn that competitive edge, and if you don't push a little bit and teach them dedication and hard work and perseverance, and not everything's going to be special all the time. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to have to get back up. Your coach is going to be a butthole sometimes. Your best friend's going to talk trash to you sometimes. You have to learn these situations. Not everything's going to be fair. You have to make your own breaks, and you have to keep going. And at the end, you'll come out on top. It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And they figure it out. And I want them to figure it out because my daughter's with these other children. And my daughter is she's going down the straight and narrow now, but no, it's not. She veers off. And I have 4 other girls that have my mindset that I said, hey, y'all need to get her back in this. And it's not about the basketball. I just don't know how to teach that any way other than basketball.
Yeah. I think to your point, one of the most important things to teach your children, I don't know how good I'm doing, is resilience, right? Just like exactly what you're talking about of, the outcome is the outcome. What we're worried about is how you go through whatever the process is.
Process is good.
Right? Because again, it may not be fair. Life's not fair. You may work extremely hard and not achieve everything you want to achieve. It's probably going to happen, right? You didn't achieve everything you wanted. You wanted to be starting point guard for Nebraska.
For Nebraska, I wanted to play for the Mavericks.
There you go, right? So that's not all going to happen for you. I didn't make it to the majors. I'm not touring with Coldplay. Yeah. So those things did not work out for me in those ways. But the way that I approached my process was so that I'd be in the mix.
You have to.
Right. Huge thing.
And I think that youth sports are the best way to teach it. I just think that if you don't, I'm not talking about boys. I've seen really good things with boys already in my son's young age, but you've got to be just as serious with the girls as you can with the boys. And the hardest thing is to hold them to that same standard that you would hold a male to, because girls are so much more sensitive. I always use this example, helping coach my son's little baseball team, and the boys were running the bases slowly. Of course, as you know, I'm trying to be intense. We're running fast no matter what. I said, boys, you guys are running like a bunch of fairies out here. And this little boy looks at me and he goes, you're a fairy. And I was laughing, yeah. I've said, I'm 41-year-old chiropractor, no matter how I run the bases. If you say that same thing to a girl, it makes her brain do something different. The coach doesn't like me. He doesn't think I'm good at softball or basketball. He thinks I'm ugly. He doesn't think I'm capable. So that is my disconnect that I have with a lot of the girls. Because I would say like, hey, you have got to guard the high post. This is not baking brownies with your mother. And then a boy would look at you and say, that's funny, coach. I'm not baking any brownies. And the girl's like, oh, he doesn't like me.
Yeah. So how have you adjusted?
What happens is those kids that I say that to, their parents will take them and not play because the girls are too sensitive. And then that's okay, because now we got a group of girls that are hard-nosed. And I'm not mean. I'm just like, hey, I'm just trying to hold them to a standard.
Well, it's funny, my youngest is now, he's playing in his first basketball league at 6 years old, but he's playing, it's a co-ed league. And even me, I'm like, hey, when the girl gets the ball, take it easier on her.
You have to. Yeah.
And I just feel,
So the adjustment is this. It's taken me 3 years to understand this. A girl is more sensitive, as we know. I'm assuming that you're married too. Right now, how I'm coaching is asking if my wife is playing on the game. My wife is playing for me. Do I yell, hey, get your butt back on defense right now, or I'm going to take you out this game? Do I say that to my wife? If I do, I can. Then there's repercussions for it. So I've been using that within the last 6 months or so. I still want to hold my wife to a standard, just like I want her to hold me to a standard, but I can't say certain things to a female because then we've all said crazy things to our wives before, and we see how they react. Yeah. If you said those same things to me, I would be like, cool, man, we're good.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I've heard it is like, guys, we're like a thermos. Yeah. Right. You just throw it against the wall. I mean, that's what we do. We get together and we bond by making fun of each other. Right. So, but then a girl is like a wine glass, right? You throw it against the wall, it's going to shatter.
Yeah. So this is what I do now. I still hold them to standards, but I look at each kid individually. I'm like, what can they take mentally? If I tell my daughter, hey, they are smoking you every time you're coming up this floor, you've got to stay low. They're pushing you left, fake them and go right. And I'm real intense with her like that. That's okay. But the next girl might not. So I have to really know each one of the players. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure they're trying to do what you're wanting to do. And I just talk to them like if I was coaching my wife, but basically. And you have to have relationships with their parents. What do the parent want for their kids? Because I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm trying to do the best I can for those kids to make them, not everyone is going to be like me mentally, but I'm treating them like I want them all to be like me mentally. Yeah. That's the disconnect, but that's why I'm not a real coach and just a chiropractor,
It sounds like you're a real coach.
Yeah. Well, that was my passion. My mom wouldn't let me be a coach either. She said no MBA and no basketball coach.
You're going to listen to her?
Yeah, I listened to her. I'm glad I did. But it's, I want those kids, they might think I'm mean now or I'm too hard on them now, which I'm not even as hard as I wish I could be. Because if I could be my real self in there, they know I would have nobody wanting to play.
Right.
But I'm holding back so much.
How do you, so here's the balance I'm trying to figure out, because I grew up playing basketball, so I know fundamentally how a jump shot should look. Yeah. Right. But when you're teaching a 6-year-old, they don't have the capability to correctly shoot a jump shot.
They can. Now, I'm not being a skills coach right now, besides my own daughter. And obviously I'm going to try to teach her to shoot the way I'm shooting. And if you look at her form right now, it's pretty good for where we're at right now. The other kids, my formula for the team is, hey, we're only going to practice once a week. You got to do your own skills training by yourself. Because I think the kids should be doing other sports as well, not just basketball. But you can teach that. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication, a lot of just like teaching a baseball swing.
But biologically, they're just right. They just need to mature to have enough muscle to have a correct
You got to
form.
show them. You got to show them. You can put the goal down.
You got to get it in the legs.
Yeah, you got to get it. You got to do it. There's a lot of moving parts to it,
Yeah.
and it's a hard thing to teach. And luckily, I know a lot about that specific part about the game, so I can teach it. I don't teach that to all the children on the team because I don't have them one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like today, we'll run 2 or 3 defenses and then let them scrimmage.
So even now it's like he's playing in a basketball league. He can shoot improperly and make it at a higher rate.
Yeah.
Right.
So
because
you can go back to my dad. He'll tell you.
Or
he did not let me shoot a basket outside the paint until I was in 6th grade.
Yeah, and that's the way. I was crossbody growing up, and I'm a very poor shooter today because I grew up shooting crossbody.
Well, that's why I was hesitant to start at such a young age because they developed in such a bad.
Well, you can be like my dad. He ain't shooting out there, man.
Yeah, that's the way.
Just keep him close.
And I do that with my daughter, and she doesn't understand, but she doesn't have to understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, student sports is great. I think they're great. I think that once you find a coach that really pushes your kid and loves your kid, you need to keep them with them as long as you possibly can.
I found that too. Is once we get a good coach, and part of it too for us with the youth culture, the young kids culture, is the other parents. Because I've seen that be.
You want those other parents to hold your kid to the same standard as their own. If I don't show up to practice one day, do I have other men in there that will step up and do what I'm trying to do to my own kid? I don't really know. The baseball team my son is on now, there's other men that do it, which I like. But we're talking about boys and girls. They don't take the girls. I hear this all the time. Oh, they're only 3rd grade. They're only 3rd grade. They're just little girls. Okay, cool. Next year, they're in 4th grade. They're only 4th grade. Now they're in middle school, and they suck at everything. I'm just saying, when is the time? And if they quit the game of basketball, okay? If they quit the game of basketball, they quit softball, who cares? Because they just learned all those lessons. They can go to another thing and play something else.
Yeah. And look, this is kind of a paradoxical thing because growing up for me, particularly when I was in middle school and then in high school, I had a very, very hard coaches. So I had a guy who, Bobby Knight was his hero. And that's who I started out like with 8th grade. Bobby Knight was he had pictures of him on the wall. He threw stuff at us. Like he would throw water bottles at us, filled, whole baskets. He would yell, he would scream, he would cuss, he would get in our face. And ultimately looking back now, this is the paradoxical thing, right? I love the guy. I love that guy.
Because he loved you.
Because that's right. Because he was willing to tell us the truth. There was never a moment where he was abusive. I mean, you could argue that throwing a water bottle is abusive, but ultimately you did feel he wanted the best for us. And that resilience he was trying to give us was the truth. He wasn't trying to make life easy on us. He was trying to bring the best out of us.
Right. And that's where a lot of people don't understand that now. And people are not going to throw water bottles anymore, I don't think. But a child needs structure and they need to be able to fail and learn how to come back from failure. And as parents, sometimes we don't want our children to fail. You don't want to hear another person get onto your child. I technically like that because I want to see how I can sit back and see how my daughter or my son gets over somebody else getting onto them. Can they brush it off? Can they take a deep breath? And can they try to perform whatever task they're doing? I really like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times parents are hard. Like if you tell someone, hey, your daughter really needs to work on her left-handed dribble and keeping her head up when she dribbles. I'd be like, okay, cool. We're going to work on that. Some parents take offense to what do you mean she can't dribble with my left hand?
Right.
So that's it.
That's right.
And when I say things like that, it's not that I'm saying your daughter's the most terrible person under the earth.
Of course.
I'm just saying, hey, if she wants to be better, work on this thing right here.
Yeah.
And then if parents take it offense, then then they're hurting their children. I think I was watching my daughter doing ground balls the other day. She missed like 2 or 3 underneath her legs. And the coach yells, "Are you kidding me? These are routine plays. I'm rolling them to you and you're missing. What in the heck is going on?" And my daughter just looks at him and kind of like this and gets back in line. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, she's cool. She just took criticism under pressure with other kids listening and she got back in line and performed. If she missed the next one, that's fine. A lot of people can't take that. They can't take it for their kids.
Yeah.
So now I have to be careful what I say to the kids because I would a lot of times really like to get into them mentally when I'm coaching them, but I can't. They might have anxiety in their mind, or their parents might not like me doing that to them. So I just let it go.
Yeah. You got to be the Zen master. You got to be Phil Jackson out there.
I know. I love seeing the kids be confident in themselves. And I love seeing the kids take their mentality and putting on other things, not the mentality I'm teaching them in the game of basketball. And we got beat. I mean, our team is for here very good because they've been worked with. When we got beat by 32 points in a game in Dallas, and the girls beat everybody around here by 50, 60, And I said, girls, what did you notice about how I handled that than when we play in Shreveport and win by 50, how the other coaches handle it? I said, I want y'all to think about it for a second. And this girl told me, she's like, you were the same. I said, okay, what does that mean? She's like, even when we win, you're the same as when we lose. I said, right, because we're trying to win the game, but at that moment we're trying to win the game, but when it's over, it's over. Mm-hmm. Then we got to think about what you're doing. And then one other girl said, you didn't complain to anybody. Because what they hear is they go to these games, they win by a lot, and all the parents in the stadium, oh my God, these girls are this, these girls this, what are they doing? I can't believe they're winning by this much. And when we got beat by 30 and we didn't even score, we attempted 3 shots. I was like, hey, those girls put in more work than us. Those girls are better than us. They got better coaches than us. They got better everything. They got better resources. And then this girl said, well, how can we beat them? I said, well, girls, honestly, I think you would have to quit going to school, get a full-time trainer that probably played the NBA, not a chiropractor as your coach. You would have to get new families and move to Dallas. That's how we beat that team. And they all kind of look at me like, coach. And I mean, that's that much difference in those two teams, right? Yeah. I can't just be like, hey, girls, when you really get in the gym next week and really work hard and we can come back next week and we might can beat them. There's probably no way. But I was being sarcastic to them to let them know, hey, you're just going to take sometimes.
Well, it's crazy too, is I've seen just being in youth sports, how many opposing coaches just quit in the middle of the game. It happens all the time. It does. Especially in baseball.
Oh,
they just quit.
You got to teach your kids to be hard nosed,
dude, your team's about to go up and bat. Just at least let them bat and run the game out. Yeah. And they just want to quit.
Well, people take it too personal. People take the game too personal. I tell people all the time, if my daughter makes 10 points or 0 points, I'm going to still go eat at Waffle House in the morning. Mm-hmm. It's not going to affect me. Yeah. But people take it too personal. Yeah. But I think you just have to teach the kids a mindset. And if parents don't like that mindset, then they can go to another team. My mindset is, hey, we're playing basketball. It's the most fun sport there is. And then I always ask the girls, I'll say, this is intense for girls now. I've had parents didn't like this, what I'm about to tell you. But to me, I love it. I said, girls, why is basketball fun? Why is basketball fun? Girls would just be like, I don't know. It's fun being with our friends. It's fun. And I'm like, okay, well, what is fun about it? And they're like, I don't know. I said, riding a merry-go-round's fun, isn't it? Going to the playground? They say, yeah. It's like going to Six Flags, playing with your friends, swimming. That's fun. They say, yeah, it's fun. I said, cool. Why don't y'all do that? Why do you want to play basketball? And they all kind of look at me and they're confused. And I said, girls, I'm going to tell you the mindset that y'all need about the game of basketball and everything else. Basketball is fun because we get to expose people about how bad they are at this game and how bad they did not prepare for us. When they walk out this gym, no matter if we win or lose, and they look and they go, I don't want to play that team again, that's freaking fun. I said, dominating them mentally is fun. We can lose by 10, but that team can still say, hey, I don't want to play that team again. Yeah. That's fun. So we like to expose people about how bad they actually did not prepare for our team. And that's fun. But if y'all want to do the other fun stuff, that's cool. But this is really fun. Now, boys, they already have it. A lot of them have it. I'm like, hey, River, why do you like playing baseball? Oh, I love whipping them boys' butts. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, I'm about to hit 3 home runs today, and we're going to get everybody out on first. I'm like, okay. And my daughter, I'm like, hey, you like softball? Yeah, it's fun. Why? I don't know.
Yeah. So
it's 2 different.
And look, I say this with all due respect, but in this moment when I'm hearing saying this about 8-year-old, 9-year-old girls, I'm thinking this is like a scene in a comedy movie. Yeah, it is. You know what I mean? Where there's a coach on the side and you're just like, who is this guy?
Yeah. So at the games, I don't say much. I sit just like this. Yeah. Unless we're playing in a competitive situation where the kids really need me. Yeah. But I like to see what the kids know by themselves. Because there's no use to me getting up and doing anything.
Well, the controllables in the prepreparation, right? Prep. You're not going to improve at a game.
No, I said, girl, it's too late. You don't want to use your left hand. We're going to have to figure out something else. But it is like a comedy movie. And The kids that stick with it, their brains are just exploding with creativity. They get their hard nose. They can make an F in school and come back and make an A the next week and not have to worry about it, because they know that you're going to fall down, then you're going to get back up. There's going to be some really good times. There's going to be some really bad times, but the journey is what we're on. And when the parents understand that, their kids are going to be amazing. And I'm really the only resource for a lot of these kids. So I'm giving them a platform where they can play on, because I know a lot of people throughout the area, throughout everywhere about basketball. So I'm trying to put them on it. But I said, girls, at the end of the day, I want y'all to be successful just like I am in practice. The stuff that you guys are doing is the stuff I implement every day when I try to take care of a lady that's crying because she has a herniated disc and laying on my table, and she needs me to help because she's about to have surgery next week and it's going to ruin her life if I don't get her better. I said, that's pressure. Shooting a free throw, that's not pressure. Y'all might think it is, but it's not really any pressure. I have pressure. You guys don't.
Yeah.
So
well, it is, the life lessons too, because we hear, I just read an article this morning about some kid, a 15-year-old killing another 15-year-old because he bumped into him at the hall and didn't apologize. Right. It's like crazy.
Entitlement, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's a scary world for the children. And that's why I think that I still show up for those kids, because I can teach them a lot that maybe other people don't know. And basketball is a trivial, stupid, idiotic thing, but it just helps me bring my daughter and her friends together for me to show it. And they know if they lose, I never get mad. I'm like, hey, I ain't smoked y'all, man. I'm still going to the steakhouse over here. They know I like this little steakhouse in Tulsa. They know I like it, but I just like seeing them go through crazy stuff and then come back. I love seeing a kid, and there's just one, every time I get on her, I'll stamp my foot. I said, hey, stop traveling. What are you doing? Relax. She'll start crying. I was like, cool, out the game. I said, when you're ready to play basketball again, let me know, because you're a good player. I don't need you over here pound. I need you to be a basketball player today. When I first started with her, she would cry all the time. Now she's like, Coach, I'm ready now. So if that kid never makes another basket for me or never does anything else, I'm still happy, because she's able to overcome some man saying, hey, stop being like that. I need you to play. And then she's like, okay, I got you. Your teammates are counting on you. But if I don't do that, how does that girl learn that? And their parents might not like it, but she's better now for it. I didn't say a bunch of nasty words to her. I just said, hey, you stop. This ain't an American Girl doll store. We're not shopping right now. This girl is trying to kill you when you're flashing up the high post. You will get yourself hurt if you do not listen to me. So it's good. It's good for them.
All right. The Stonewall Ponies.
The Ponies, yeah.
That's the name of the team?
Yeah. The same team.
Stonewall Ponies.
Yeah. You know why? Because I live in Stonewall. Some people, when we go to tournament, like, what is that? What's Stonewall? But I told the girls simply, I said, hey, I want y'all to be successful in whatever you guys do, and this is how I'm going to teach you. Some of your parents might disagree with me, but you tell them I'm just a chiropractor. I'm not a basketball coach, okay? I do this for free. They could not pay me enough to coach you guys. But I do love you, and I do want to see you guys do better.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah, man.
So,
listen, I want to see the Stonewall Ponies when they hit 12th grade. I want to see like the seniors.
There's no telling how long they're going to stick with me, man, because they get a lot from me, man. And if they stick with it, you will see North DeSoto, where I live, you will see a really, really good girls basketball team probably around 2032, 2034.
So state champs.
I don't know about that, but you're going to see they might not be good athletically, but they're going to be extremely smart. They're going to be gritty. You're not going to be able to knock them down. They're going to be able to come back. And then whoever gets those kids as employees or running businesses, they're going to be even better, because they're going to be like, this is easy. So that's my goal for them.
Exciting stuff, man.
Yeah, I like it.
This is great.
Hey, could I pay you to come over to my house every Saturday morning and just run a boot camp for my kids?
Man, yes, but I can tell you some people that can do it for you better than me.
Okay.
And I've hired them, so they're doing a good job with them.
I like it. Okay. We asked every guest 3 questions, and we're supposed to probably prep you, but we didn't.
Okay, it's okay. I can go off.
All right.
Do you know what the 3 questions
if there was
are?
anything in Shreveport, Bossier, this area you would change, what would it be if you had a magic wand?
I would change. Are we talking about political things here? Or are we talking
anything?
I would change the opportunities that little kids have to to be involved in more community activity events.
I like it. I'm looking at my
the other questions. There's a lot of things that would change.
What's the best? We talk about food a lot on this podcast.
Okay.
All right. What's the best meal locally you could have in recent memory?
I like, I'm going to always say a local spot since I'm another small business. So I'm not going to say Texas Roadhouse across the street, which I like that. I mean, I think any place that you go, Cabo Verde, Windrush, you can't beat those because they're local people and they try to do the best they can.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Key Mexico. I mean, you can get any local Shreveport spot and it's a good meal.
Yeah. I like it.
Very good.
What was the other one? Oh, what are you excited about? It could be professionally, personally. What has you excited right now?
I am excited to make my clinic even better. I got some things in the works that I want to do some things to not only be the best in Shreveport, but to be one of the better chiropractic clinics of anywhere, probably in the South. That's what I'm excited about.
We didn't even get to talk about business at all.
We talk a little bit about business.
So we'll have to get back into the business side of things, get you back on, and talk to you about adjusting horses.
I'm an animal chiropractor as well, yes. We can bring a dog in here if you would like to see a dog adjusted in your room.
Isn't that crazy? So on Fridays, he's out to all the farms adjusting horses.
Mm-hmm.
What about cats?
I don't do cats. No. I'm not that.
It's so funny because one day I was in there and he's like, dude, my landlord's going to have a fit. And I was like, what? He's like, this lady's bringing her 2 horses from Dallas to have a competition this weekend. And he was like, you'll have to bring them to my parking lot. And he's like, yeah, I have my steps out there. I'll just go and adjust them right out there in the parking lot.
The landlord is a plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's putting in boob jobs in the parking lot as I'm adjusting horses.
One-stop shop, everybody. One-stop shop. All right, sponsor time.
All right, yeah. We read our sponsors here. Priority Roofing, locally owned, family ran business specializing in residential and commercial roofing. You know the bailiffs, Stonewall. They repairs, replacements, no jobs too small. Thousands of homeowners they've helped over the past several years. So call them 318-202-2123. Plumber for Hire, locally owned plumbing company specializing in residential commercial plumbing. No job too big, small. They could do the plumbing on a new construction. They could fix a leak under a sink. They get to jobs real quickly. 318-709-9090. Then we have Clint Davis Counseling, helping people make lasting internal change for external growth and success. Call them to schedule an appointment, 318-562-6903.
Ivy's Building Materials, 3 locations, Blanchard, Houghton, and in Mansfield in DeSoto Parish. Since 1969, we've been a locally owned home center. We're 3rd generation, and man, we want to keep growing and keep going. So if you need, if you want to build a house, remodel a house, get shingles for a roof, building materials, or if you need to fix a toilet or paint a room or buy some tools for your dad for Christmas, come see us at Ivy's, IVEYlumber.com.
You have some good Black Friday sales coming up?
No, we do Quiet Friday.
Okay.
We don't do Black Friday. We do Quiet Friday.
Hey, plug your business one more time.
Bates Chiropractic's been around for the last 15 years in Shreveport. And no matter if you're an old grandma or a young 5-year-old kid playing T-ball, we can help you with any type of pain, any kind of discomfort, and think kind of out of the box rather than your normal doctor's office.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep, that's it.
Ryan Bates.
Ryan Bates. Thank you.
See you
it's
around.
great.
Thank
Thanks.
you guys.
Bye.